All right, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, let me set everything up correctly. All right. Oh man, I should set this camera up a lot better. Well, there it is. You ain't gonna get any better than that. Hello, everyone. You have just stepped into a dimension of random geekiness right on the X Zone. It is X Zone Live. I am your host, HP Gibson. And first and foremost, I want to thank all of my subscribers, all of my viewers for their continued support and their viewership and their subscribership. It is greatly appreciated. And if this is your first time here at the channel, please do me a favor and hit subscribe so that way you can show your support, and also hit like and hit that bell icon so that you can get notification of brand new content. Excuse me. Sorry. I pretty much just woke up from like a food coma. There's so much to eat around here in the good old South. We just got down on some Bojangles a little while ago, and the chicken and biscuits will knock a brother out. But anyway, listen, we're going to go right into it. And this time I'm going to challenge myself about not rambling. So here we go. In accordance to the title, Nightwing. Finally, are we going to see Nightwing? And as I said in the description in the last live, when I was talking about Titans and Titans season 2, the first 2 episodes that I saw, which are really brilliant. And if you haven't watched it, please do check it out. They are doing a bang up job with this live action Titans. I mean, people are going to have their opinions, but I am really enjoying Titans. It's really, really fantastic. If you want to check out my review for that, just scroll down a little bit. You'll see it. Or I review episodes 1 and 2, and I rambled a lot. But it would appear that Nightwing is finally going to get some love, finally going to get some attention. A lot of us DC fans have waited a long time to see Nightwing. If you don't know who Nightwing is, he was formerly Robin, the Boy Wonder. He was a much older Dick Grayson, and pretty much as you see in the Titans series, you can see that transition, that falling out between Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne. You didn't actually see the falling out, but you saw the results of where Dick Grayson is now a detective over in Chicago, and then he is now transferring himself back over to San Francisco into the Titans Tower with the rest of the Titans team, and he has given up the moniker of Robin and leaving Jason Todd to be Robin. And in some recent photos, yes, in some recent photos on Twitter, let me just take a look really quick. This is from, his name is Walt, the Uber Kryptonian. And there are some behind the scenes shots of the actors. Let me make sure that we got the actors' names correctly. We see, of course, Mr. Brendon Thwaits as Nightwing. You can see him from behind. Anna Diop as Starfire. We also see Minka Kelly as Dove, and also Mr. Alan Ritchson as Hawk. So there you have it, man. Right, plain as day. The answer to all of the DC fans' prayers is that we are going to get Nightwing. The transition into Nightwing is really going to be interesting. I loved that conversation, that heart-to-heart talk between Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne. Like I said, the scene was so good that we don't have to see them as Batman and Robin. Just seeing Bruce and Dick talking, that was just really good. And the conversation that they had was so, it was fantastic. It really was. Mr. Lane Glenn playing Bruce Wayne. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. So if you're looking to see the photos of Nightwing on set, behind the scenes shots of Brendon Thwaite as Nightwing, there is a link in the description below. Please do check it out. There's a link in the description below. You can see the photos and get happy and get excited. Nightwing is coming. Absolutes. Now, also in the title, we are going to be talking about, what's turning into a controversial subject. If we can take a look over at, let's see, we want to take a look. I believe it was Zack Stentz. Zack Stentz, the writer of X-Men First Class, said that he would love to see, you mentioned that how his feelings are about Giancarlo Esposito playing Magneto. All right. I have that link in the description below if you want to take a look at it. I believe that went up, I think, in April. I think it's an old tweet. And now recently there have been some photos that have been online, some photoshopped pictures that depict Denzel Washington as Magneto. And I think they're kind of lining up the fact that when Magneto and Charles Xavier were created, they were created after the likenesses and the personalities of the civil rights leaders, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Charles Xavier being the Martin Luther King and Magneto being the Malcolm X. And it's really interesting that they would have put Denzel Washington in the Magneto costume, being that he did play Malcolm X, and the possibility of having Giancarlo Esposito playing Charles Xavier. And I put a post up on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, and that rattled a lot of cages. And I'm going to read that to you right now. And there was so many people that reacted. Some very, very hard, some very, very soft, some, some in between. And we all just had a nice little conversation about, like, there were like 29 comments altogether. If you want to see it, just friend me up on Facebook, Harold B. Gibson on Facebook, and you could take a look down my wall. It was posted yesterday at approximately 1:52 a.m. And it says, okay, I guess I'm going to start a war regarding Magneto to be possibly cast as Black. There is no doubt about the story of Eric Magnus Lenscher or Max Eisenhardt, or whichever you prefer, is an important story in the X-Men lore and crucial story in social commentary. However, just as we will always have Mary Jane as a redhead Caucasian in the comics, as well as history, and will live on in stories to come, Magneto will be likewise. For as long as writers and artists care to represent him, this new iteration of the X-Men is one for more recent time, not putting the events of the Holocaust as less significant, but there are other human atrocities throughout history, and that's the basis and motivation of Magneto, a character that was born out of a tragic event. So I was not trying to make light of the Holocaust. It was a human atrocity that, it's an atrocity, okay? Horrible. But guess what? Just like that was a human atrocity that will never be forgotten, there were other human atrocities as well that happened to other people. Okay, we can't just say like, oh, this is it, and then that's it, and that's all we care about. No, human beings are human beings, and there have been atrocities all over the world by all different kinds of people. So what Zack Stentz was trying to say is that he would like to see Magneto as a Black Tutsi survivor of the Rwandan genocide. And I thought that's a pretty good idea, to, like, if you were going to have a new iteration or a new change. And remember, everybody has, pretty much no one has a problem with different universes of superheroes. I mean, we have embraced Miles Morales. We have embraced Val Zod. We have embraced a lot of people. We have embraced a lot of characters, a lot of Black characters that have come along that have taken the moniker and the name of other superheroes that were depicted of fairer skin. There was even a Black female Captain Marvel. Let's just, Let's just say it for what it is. And there are some black superheroes that still have yet to be really represented, like Blue Marvel. We're doing very, very well. I think we're on our way. I'm hoping to see good things with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with Anthony Mackie, of course, reprising his role as Falcon, and also Sebastian Stan reprising his role as Winter Soldier. I'm looking forward to that show. Also looking to see a whole bunch of other shows. And I believe that there's going to be an animated Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. If you've ever seen Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, that a very, very quirky Marvel comic book, Moon Girl is a black female, young black female. And I believe that there's also going to be an Ironheart animated show. I mean, Disney Plus is going to do it up and is going to give a lot of diverse shows that show more diversity within the Marvel universe, the Star Wars universe, and bringing a more inclusive feel to all the universes, and to make everybody feel more, make everybody feel good. This is going to be a good thing. I think it's a good thing. But with this particular post, I've had some pretty interesting comments. I'm not going to mention any names. But I have one. No. Though I love them as actors, I'm tired of this hand-me-down tokenism disguised as diversity. Pre-existing characters with established backgrounds being changed into different race or gender is not only lazy, it's pandering. Magneto and Xavier have very specific stories for very specific reasons, and to change them for what? Diversity push and the black dollar? Hell no. And to my previous point again, why continue to swap characters instead of telling stories of characters that already exist that fit the racial and political spectrum they're trying to tap? I'm not for it. I don't like being handed down a watered down form of fake diversity while being told, look, people of color, we did a thing for you. Now, I understand what this person said. I completely understand what he said, and he definitely has a point. Like I said, I'm looking forward for other black characters, established black characters, to start stepping up. But still, it's just, I'm just curious to see how Denzel Washington would handle as Magnus, as Magneto. I mean, I would love to see that. I would love to see Giancarlo Esposito try to do Magneto. But let's just make it perfectly crystal clear that neither of those actors have been officially cast for anything. So let's hold our horses and let's just hope that, Disney Marvel makes a good decision as to who they cast in those roles in future films. So let's just hope that they do that. Okay, now I just got a bit of news just now. Thank you, Daryl Taylor, for sending me this, for putting this up on my wall. I reported previously, like, if you're looking for Tom Welling to reprise his role as Superman in the Arrowverse, forget about it. I said nope. But according to TVLine.com, and I am always leery about some of these, media news sites, these entertainment news sites, especially CBR. You guys know I have a very, very personal thing against them. I do not like them. I think that their so-called journalism in the geek world is nothing but an example of fake geeks, fake nerds, so-called experts, all of a sudden coming along on the bandwagon, to try to get attention or try to collect on the current popularity of the geek and nerd community in comic book movies, superhero movies, and science fiction films. I'm not digging it, and I'm still a little bent out of shape about that video that they did about cosplayers and cosplays that you can't unsee. You guys know that I am Mace Man by now, and cosplay is cosplay no matter what level you're on. So I had a little problem with CBR. So I don't really trust them as a source of journalism and of news. So I just don't. But TV Line says the following. it will be Reigning Superman this fall on the CW. And on the heels of news that both Tyler Hoechlin and Brendon Routh will be slipping into their Superman tights for the Arrowverse's Crisis on Infinite Earths, TV Line can confirm that Smallville vet Tom Welling will also reprise his signature Man of Steel role in the 5-part event. Are we going to see him in the Superman costume? Because I took that series finale of Smallville where we saw him do this and show the S, and then they had like a CGI Superman way off in the distance trying to save an airplane, and then you have this real close-up of Tom Welling, and you see a little bit of blue here, you see the cape in the background, and once again you see a CGI Superman. I forever took that and turned that into my own little word called Smallville. Like, we got Smallville. Like, we were looking for just like with Gotham. I said that with Gotham, when they showed Batman in the series finale of Gotham, when they showed Batman in the series finale of Gotham, I said, we got Smallville. We got a little glimpse of Batman, but not really. Not really. All right. As far as Titans, we got a little bit more Batman. We got a lot more Batman than I thought we did in that season finale of Titans, the first season, when Dick Grayson was up under Trigon's spell and he was having a fantasy about killing Bruce Wayne, which would bring out his dark side. So we saw a little bit more Batman in that one, I think. I think we got less Smallville in that one. So I say, yo, man, we got Smallville. So basically saying that whenever we have a superhero show that's utilizing a character that is, I guess, off limits because Warner Brothers is trying to make money off of it. Because I don't think you're ever going to really see a full-on Batman in any television show at all, because Warner Brothers has such a tight grip on Batman. We could see Superman easy on the CW, but there's something about not having Batman. It's like Batman is like WB's main moneymaker. So I guess they're afraid that if they showed Batman full on, like a full on episode with a full on Batman in it, whether it's in an Arrowverse or the upcoming Batwoman show or Titans or anything like that, they feel like they're going to lose some money or something like that. So let's just hope that they change their minds. I mean, as a matter of fact, if Batman turned into a television series, they could do so much with it. It would be killer. If they got some really good writers on it and they got some really good actors on it, you don't even have to even concentrate on the fact that Bruce Wayne is Batman. You can concentrate more on Bruce Wayne, and just have Batman show up, whenever needed. Please, you guys are missing out on a killer television show possibility, bringing Batman to television. I mean, they're bringing Star Wars to television. You know what I'm saying? With the Mandalorian and Rogue One miniseries, they're bringing Obi-Wan Kenobi to a live action series. They're actually bringing back Ewan McGregor for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So not having Batman on television is just a poor excuse. But just when we thought that Tom Welling would never return as Superman, is he going to wear the tights this time? That's what I want to know. Is he going to wear it? Is he actually going to be Superman this time? This is really interesting. I want to read on where it says, I'm reading from tvline.com. For 8 years, Arrow has stood on the shoulders of Smallville. Executive producer Mark Guggenheim said in a statement, simply put, there would be no Arrow and no Arrowverse without it. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. You can click on the link below and read the rest of how Mark feels about Tom Welling returning as Superman. I think he's right, and there would be no Arrow without Smallville. Okay, there would be none of these. The Arrowverse would not be anything without Smallville. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. They even had their own little Justice League. They had Impulse. They had their own little version of Aquaman. They had their own version of Oliver Queen on there, and it had, God rest his soul, Cyborg. You know, the poor actor that played Cyborg had committed suicide some time ago. Very, very tragic. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring a downer to the show, but you know, it's what happened. But their version of the Justice League was pretty darn cool. Let's just say for the fact. And I'm very, very excited. I'm sure everyone's excited for the appearance of Superboy. I think we are really getting a good series in Titans. I'm sorry, I'm shifting. Back to Tom Welling. Hopefully Tom Welling will have the costume. I'm looking forward to him wearing the costume. Hopefully he'll be able to wear the costume full on and it will show him, or will he just be Clark Kent with the red jacket and the blue shirt? And that was a cool Superboy jacket. That Superman jacket that he wore, is still pretty cool. I like that jacket. I don't know if it's still in production, but that Smallville jacket was pretty tight. I like that. They had several different versions of it. They had the black one, they had a bright colored red one, and then they had a darker colored red one that was more like the show. And they had a full-on blue one with the red and yellow S. It's probably still online or anything or something like that. But it would be kind of cool to see Tom Welling in the costume or the jacket, being that Tom Hecklin is going to have his Superman costume on, and Brendon Routh is going to have the Bob Ross Kingdom Come Superman costume on. And to see Tom Welling maybe dressed up as the Smallville Superman might not be that bad, but you know, just I guess just to remind everybody that he is from the Smallville universe. So we got all these multiverses colliding and everything, all these different Supermen. So maybe it might be more fitting to have Tom Welling just wear the red jacket like he did in the show, even though we wanted to see him in the tights the first time around. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's basically it. That's all really I have to say at this time. Thank you so much for joining me in a dimension of random geekiness. Now, I have a poll. Regarding Magneto and Xavier being recast with black actors, possibly Denzel Washington, possibly Giancarlo Esposito. If you go to the links below in the description, it'll take you to the poll on the X Zone Facebook page. Okay, hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it works. I'm still kind of technically challenged when it comes to, like, you know, putting links and everything. All the other links, you know, you can just copy and paste in the address bar and everything. Just copy and paste and just paste it. But this one here was, I think it was a little bit trickier. But please do click on the link below if you want to be a part of the poll, and I will give you the poll results on a future show. The poll is, and I'm going to go to the X Zone Facebook page. Let's see if I can find it. Just give me a sec. I'm trying to find it. First of all, how's everybody's evening? Everybody's evening okay? Please do let me know how you're doing in the comments below. I would love to hear how you guys are doing. I'm doing great. Work is great. The weather over here in hot Atlanta continues to be, well, hot. It kind of cooled off a little bit. The weather over here has cooled off quite a bit. And we're enjoying it. I know I'm enjoying it. But if you go to the X Zone Facebook page, I have a poll. And it says Giancarlo Esposito as well as Denzel Washington have been mentioned / suggested to portray the roles of Magneto or Charles Xavier in future X-Men films. Please tell me what you think, and I will read the results on a future episode of the X Zone, X Zone Micro, or X Zone Live or whatever. And the poll is up. It is up right now. Also, I have another poll up, which I'm going to read the results on a future episode of Star Wars Monthly Blaster. It's all about Star Wars with more Star Wars television projects being announced for the upcoming Disney Plus streaming service. And considering the disgruntled Star Wars fans fearing the worst for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, do you think that Star Wars would have a better chance on television, or would they still be okay in the movies? So that poll is still up on the X Zone Facebook page. I have that poll on the X Zone Facebook page. Just go to the page, scroll down, like the page. I really, really appreciate it. Participate in the poll, and also the poll about whether or not Magneto and Xavier should be recast by someone of perhaps another racial background. Let's just say, yeah, the names Giancarlo Esposito and Denzel Washington have been mentioned to be possibly, you know, possible thoughts of playing either Magneto and or Charles Xavier. That poll is up. And let me see, I think I'm going to click on this and stick it to the top of the page. I'm going to pin it to the top of the page right now. So that way, when you go to the X Zone page, you'll see the poll right there at the top of the page. So go to the X Zone Facebook page and participate in the poll, and I will read the results on a future episode. All right. So with that being said, I love you to life. I'm HB Gibson. Thanks so much for watching the X Zone live. And if this is if you're watching this and it's not live, thank you for taking your time to watch. All right. Once again, love you to life, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.